Hey beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Busisiwe Dlamini Harodi, the Perth principal. So today we are back with the preparations of solutions part 3. So what we're gonna do now, we're going to prepare solutions using this formula. So basically this formula is C1V1. So the C stands for the concentration and the V will stand for the volume, which will be equals to C2 and V2. So basically what this means is that there is a relationship between concentration number 1 multiplied by volume number 1 and concentration number 2 multiplied by volume number 2. So what this basically means is that C1, it is the initial concentration. I will use that symbol to represent the concentration, and then V1 will be the initial volume, whereby C2 will be the final concentration. So it will be the concentration that you want to have at the end, and then V2 will be the final volume. So it will also be the volume of what you will need or what you will have at the end after preparing that specific solution. So when do you usually use this formula? So this formula, you will use it when you have a stock or a concentrated solution whereby you need to prepare a certain solution that will have a specific concentration and a specific volume. So we can imagine like Oros, because I know most of us, we do like Oros juice. So with the Oros, when you buy it as concentrated in that bottle that you buy it with. And then what you do when you are preparing your juice, you gonna dilute that Oros to a specific concentration that will be drinkable. And if you are alone, you would know that there will be a specific volume that you will prepare so that you can be able to consume it on your own. Or if when you have a lot of guests, it means you're going to prepare a higher volume of that juice so that it can be able to be enough for your guests. So it's the same thing that usually happens in the laboratory. We find that most of the time we buy solutions that will have a stock concentration, and then we prepare them to our desired concentration and the desired volume that we will need to be able to perform that specific task. So let's just have an example whereby, let's say you have a liter of a 2 molar sodium hydroxide solution. So that's what you have. That's what you have in your inventory that you stocked up. So now you need to prepare a 0.5 molar solution, but the volume that you need to carry out your task is going to be a 500 ml. So let's get to it. So what I said is that you have 1 liter of a 2 molar sodium hydroxide solution. And then now they say explain So they say, explain how are you going to prepare a 500 ml 0.5 molar sodium hydroxide solution. So from the one that you have in your inventory, which is the concentration, it's 2 molar. So from that 2 molar, how are you going to prepare a 0.5 molar? But as well, it must not be a lot. So you just need what? 500 ml. So what you will do usually, as we've learned as well in high school when we did physical science, that you must always write down what you have so that you can be able to see what is it that you don't have that you need to calculate. So in this case, we know our formula is C1V1 is equals to C2V2. So C1, which represents our concentration number 1, we do have it, which is a 2 molar solution. So it's going to be 2 molar, and then V1 basically V1 is what we do not have. So we're going to put a question mark. So this 1 liter, we don't take it into consideration. Is the, like I said, is the same that you have a liter of an Oros solution. So you're not going to take that liter of an Oros solution. So in this case, we want to know from this 1 liter, how much are we supposed to use to be able to make that solution? That's what basically we are calculating here. And then C2, which would be 0.5 molar. And then V2, which is the final volume, it's supposed to be 500 mils. And again, that what you need to always remember is that your units must be the same as well before you can be able to use this formula. So now we know that what we need to calculate is volume number 1. It's how much of that 1 liter 2 molar sodium hydroxide solution we need to take to be able to prepare a 500 ml 0.5 molar sodium hydroxide solution. So we go back to our formula. We can rearrange our formula from here to make sure that at the end, on the other left-hand side of the equal sign, we only have V1, so that it will be easier for us to calculate. So how do you do that? If you remember, we need to remove this C1 from the left-hand side, and it must go to the right-hand side, so that here on the left, we are only left with V1. So how are you going to do that? We're going to divide by C1. So that C1 can cancel C1 and you'll be left with V1. But remember, with mathematics, whatever you do on the left-hand side, you must do on the right-hand side. So it means you must supposed to divide by C1 on this side as well. So it means at the end now, your formula after you've rearranged to be able to calculate V1 is going to be V1 is equals to C2 multiplied by V2 divided by C1. And because you have already written down what you have, then you just substitute and then you press your calculator. So C2 is 0.5 molar, which is going to be multiplied by V2, which is 500 mils, divide by C1, which is 2 molar. Then you just punch this into your calculator. Which gives you the answer of 125 milliliter. So basically what this means is that from this 1 liter of your 2 molar solution, you're only going to measure 125 mils of it to be able to calculate. But like I said, even on the previous video when we did ratio and proportion, it is that usually the calculations are just there to assist us to be able to know the amount that we need to use. So the final step now is to answer that question, to explain how you would do it. So but now, because you know, then it becomes easier. You can just say, I will measure 125 ml of a 2 molar sodium hydroxide solution and top it up with distilled water up to 500 mils to make a 0.5 molar solution. So now, once you have done this, you have answered your question fully. So it's very important that you make sure that you read the question correctly, and make sure that as well you write down what you have and what you do, so that you can be able to recognize what you do not have, so that you can be able to rearrange your formula in such a way that you can be able to have that variable that you need on one side of the equal sign. So basically, that is it from me for today. If you haven't subscribed already to my channel, may you please press that subscribe button there at the bottom. And also, you can also click on the notification bell, so that every time when I upload a video, you can be able to be notified that there is a video that has been uploaded, so that you can check it out. And as always, if you need extensive help with your board exam preparation, you can send me an email. I've put down my email address down there. Ciao. Thank you.